For joining us, we want to talk about the bad timing of the height of Wednesday storm across the South, and three local weather offices suffered radar equipment.
Of Weather Geeks joins us now with more. All right, Marshall, I mean, the timing of this was just terrible. Did the loss of the radar data though affect the forecasting?
Situation that's essentially like a baseball player in his bat. That's his main tool.
Models were having a hard time, whereas, any of this connected.
Yeah. I don't know. It's in terms of computers.
Go ahead.
No, so what happened to the radars? I didn't even hear what happened.
Yeah, they were by lightning. Yeah, we don't know that
yet. I didn't know
and
that.
so,
I found out yet.
I know that our forecast.
Is it aging infrastructure? I mean, is that going to be a problem more widespread getting into the future?
Well, remember, many of these radars, WSR 88Ds, late 80s, but they were upgraded recently with the dual polarization capability to show us those really interesting ZDR and other.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Yours is more. You go ahead.
Well, relevant to that weather bill, improving infrastructure, I know, was part of it too.
Yeah.
But also interesting is just improving the longer-term forecast, which I thought was an interesting point.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, and there's really no backup plan if these radars go down. I mean, other National Weather Services will try to cover the areas the best they can. But someone here asked a really good question. They said, well, can't they just send a bunch of those mobile Doppler radars out, to try to get some information?
Yeah, I think they, theoretically, at any given time, there were threats all along the eastern part of the USA, and we just don't have those kind of capacities. But
actually, this is the first bill since the late 1990s. Will it make a difference? Is there money involved in it? Or is it
of our policy, which is something I don't think we've really seen in recent years. So I'm really excited about the bill. It's in light of the radars being down, but we need all of our tools in the toolbox in situations like that.
Including the satellites.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Marshall
so let's
Shepard,
keep them funded and NOAA too.
Thank you. All right, Marshall Shepard, thank you for being here. Don't forget, you can watch Weather Geeks every Sunday at noon right here on. Yes, and actually, I just want to say, in Ohio now, we're talking about snow. I just saw a 6-inch snow report come out of Hinckley, Ohio. So we've got this system over the east, this guy here all spun up here. This is our low pressure in the east, and we got another big one in the west. Actually, this one is even stronger, approaching the west coast. The central low pressure down to 976. That's a strong low pressure, 986 over the east. When you have a low pressure, a strong low pressure, low pressure itself draws in air. Air moves from high towards low pressure. It, goes in a counterclockwise fashion around the low. And the stronger the low, the stronger the winds are going to move. So we've got some wicked winds again today right through the east, but also especially in the west. Winds easily gusting over 30+ miles per hour. We've had a lot of wind gusts over hurricane force, actually, right through the overnight. Want to take you into some of the wind damage reports that we've seen. Reno, you've gusted to 58 miles per hour. 22 reports of wind damage out here, especially, of course, when you get some elevation. Those winds are even stronger, and especially on the coast today, Northern California, Southern Oregon, we are going to see winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. Plus, you've got rain and snow, so this system brings it all to the west. It's a potent system spinning in. The bulk of the energy goes up into here, but we're going to see that moisture pointed right here, right into Northern California, southern parts of Oregon. That's where we're really going to see some of the biggest rain totals come on in, right up into coastal Washington, honestly. And then the snow will be piling up all the way down in the Cascades and down into the Sierra. So here we go, especially in the Sierra. We're going to get about 3 to 4 feet of snow, not just inches, feet of snow. Travel again, Interstate 80, on 50, all going to be affected. Even if you're traveling 5, we still need the snow chains up here, Northern California, these traction tires, everything. I mean, you are still in winter travel mode out here. Now, the energy from this system, as it translates in and moves in, we're going to see a piece of energy within our jet stream continue to move on in as we get you into the end of the weekend, and that moves up here into the plains. Does everything come together at the same time? Possibly, but not definitely. So this is something that you need to watch for the end of the weekend. This is late Sunday into overnight Sunday, and then Monday we'll watch the chance for some thunderstorms to pop on here. It's going to take all day for things really to get going. It's going to be a warm layer of air sort of at the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So it'll take some time for those cumulus clouds to build up and kind of punch through that. And we'll see if it does. You need some help from that jet stream energy to do that. But if it all comes together, the chance of thunderstorms out there stretching from the plains up into the Midwest, the whole energy itself, the whole low moves farther north. So we could see some thunderstorms up into Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis. This is all by Monday into Monday night as that piece of the system moves into the Great Lakes. Now, the front trails back into Texas and stays there for a couple of days. So you end up with a couple of days of thunderstorm chances. That's why you end up with a little bit more in terms of rain in your rain buckets here. Dallas could see 1 to 2 inches of rain. It's going to be more isolated. I think underneath some of the areas that get the biggest thunderstorms, you will end up with the biggest rain totals. Guys?